Did Denmark really have colonies in the West Indies? Imagine a world where European nations were racing to claim new lands across the oceans. Denmark, often known for its Vikings and fairy tales, also played a part in this global scramble. Yes, Denmark did have colonies in the West Indies. From the late 1700s until the early 1900s, Denmark controlled a group of Caribbean islands called the Danish West Indies. These islands included St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. The Danish West Indies were part of Denmark's efforts to expand its reach during the early modern era, a time when European countries looked overseas for wealth and power. The story begins in 1769 when Denmark-Norway, under King Christian V, officially created the Danish West India Company. This company was responsible for setting up and managing the colonies. The first settlement was on St. Thomas, established in 1769. Later, in 1718, Denmark took control of St. John, and in 1733, they bought St. Croix from France. These islands were very important because they provided access to valuable resources like sugar, coffee, and tobacco, which were in high demand in Europe. A big part of Denmark's presence in the West Indies was tied to the transatlantic slave trade. The plantations on these islands relied heavily on enslaved Africans to work the fields. Denmark actively participated in this trade, importing enslaved people to work on the sugar plantations. Even though Denmark banned the transatlantic slave trade in 1803, slavery itself continued on the islands until 1840. The Danish West Indies stayed under Danish control for nearly 250 years. In 1917, Denmark sold the islands to the United States for $25 million in gold. After that, the islands were renamed the U.S. Virgin Islands. From a Scandinavian point of view, Denmark's colonies in the Caribbean show how the nation was involved in global trade and colonial competition during the early modern era. These colonies were part of Denmark's larger efforts to build a worldwide trading empire, which also included territories in India and Africa. So yes, Denmark did have colonies in the West Indies. They played a key role in the history of European colonial ventures, driven by economic motives and the pursuit of resources. The island's history is intertwined with the transatlantic slave trade and the shifting control of overseas territories, marking a significant chapter in Denmark's colonial past.